Welcome to IHIP News. We are gravely worried about Project 2025, which already seems to be in full swing. The aftermath of Donald Trump's presidency and why his term was so significant has been amplified with the Supreme Court decisions that have rolled out in the last few weeks. You have the Chevron case, many others where they're just stripping things away. The Voting Rights Act was a big one. And now, of course, the immunity case. And I think it's important to recall what people who served in Trump's cabinet said about him when he was president of the United States. This was 2 years ago. This should have been a career-ending moment for convicted felon Donald Trump, but it wasn't. So let's hear what Trump's former Secretary of Defense said about him on 60 Minutes.
What specifically was he suggesting that the U.S. military should do to these protesters?
He says, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And he's suggesting that that's what we should do, that we should bring in the troops and shoot the protesters.
The commander-in-chief was suggesting that the U.S. military shoot protesters.
Yes, in the straits of our nation's capital. That's right.
How that is not a career-ending moment for a politician in any democracy is unbelievable to me, and how those 6 Supreme Court justices know about this, because this didn't happen in a vacuum. No. Everybody that was on his cabinet has come out and said that he is a clear and present danger. And despite these people saying this, that are far right-wingers, all of the people that were in Trump's cabinet, right, nobody I'd ever want to even go to dinner with, quite frankly, they know this, and they still voted to give him immunity. And let's think about this. You're protesting something that's important to you, civil rights issues, gay rights issues, Israel-Palestine issues, whatever they may be. It is your right to protest. That is the nucleus of a democracy. And Trump wants to shoot them, and he wants to order other Americans to shoot innocent civilians.
Donald Trump has had so many moments that should have been disqualifying. There are so many. It's like they happen every single day, all day. So the news cycle just kind of ignores them, or we become immune to them. Over 30 members of his cabinet say he's unfit. They will not vote for him. His own vice president doesn't endorse him. Obviously, that's because he tried to send a mob to undertake a coup and to hang Mike Pence. But these are very, very dangerous people that surround Donald Trump today. They are worse than the people he had in his first administration, because his first administration people still believed in the Constitution. This administration that he is aggregating together, should he get elected in 2024, have zero loyalty to the Constitution and only to themselves.
This next election, it doesn't matter. There's all this talk in the press. Is it going to be Biden? Is Biden going to pull out? This is so important that you have to vote blue no matter who.
Right.
If it's Biden, we're riding with Biden. If it's Harris, all chips in on Harris. The Democrats have got to message how dangerous this moment is for the free world and for the entire world order to stand up against this type of tyranny, which Donald Trump and the Supreme Court have set in motion. But what's so nefarious about this is Donald Trump is really irrelevant to the people of Project 2025 and to the Heritage Foundation. He is simply their imperfect vessel. Right. Because they want to consolidate power and have a new world order, an authoritarian world order where white Christian men rule. And if you don't believe me, we'll just hear it from them.
The reason that so many anchors on MSNBC, for example, are losing their minds daily is because our side is winning. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
this goes all through me. I have yet to hear, after a violent insurrection at the Capitol, I have yet to hear Republican lawmakers, Trump on down, say, peaceful protest, political protest is peaceful. They are all for a blood revolution. And this guy, I mean, what a fucking bozo.
The Heritage Foundation is wildly dangerous.
Wildly.
And they have played the long game for decades, and they have used ways to skirt the system. They've used gerrymandering. They've used the Electoral College. They have, they took that vote away from Obama when Obama nominated Merrick Garland to the court. And this has been the long game. And this is dangerous, Iron Age thinking that is overly ambitious. And he's right. They are winning right now.
They are.
But my message to the Democratic politicians from the top of the ticket all the way down that are inside the Beltway, we live in a red state. What Americans want is for you guys to fight this insanity with the same intensity, but sane intensity.
That's right.
We want you to barnstorm the nation. Biden, you have all these new powers. Get rid of the Electoral College. The only people that like it are the people that get to skirt the system. It is a dated form of electing politicians, and it's proven to be incredibly dangerous. We would have never had a George W. Bush presidency if not for the Electoral College. We wouldn't have had a Donald Trump presidency if not for the Electoral College. How much are we going to sit around and take it? The Supreme Court just unleashed all of these new powers, and we are the party of law and order. We have got to see leaders unite around ideas, whether it's Biden, whether it's Harris, or whomever else. We need to vote blue no matter who, because these people are sick. They're dangerous. They use Iron Age thinking, and they have a very cruel brand of politics wherein they want to completely annihilate and dismantle American democracy, which the ripple effects of that outside of our country to the entire world order are going to take decades, lifetimes to ever restore and to ever recover, because the weapons that these governments will control are insurmountable.
Right. And that's just assuming that Trump just doesn't sign everything over to Putin from the jump. I mean, he's already said Ukraine, that, he'll stop that. I mean, it is so dangerous. He is so dangerous. The people around him are so dangerous because they have no loyalty to anyone but white Christian men, hopefully with money, because the average Trump rally goer is not someone that Donald Trump and his administration are going to protect.
Well, and Donald Trump is no spring chicken.
No.
We talk about Biden's age all the time, but Trump is no spring chicken. And he clearly is a head case and a lot of other issues that I'll leave up to the psychiatrists when they write his obituary. But they will restore somebody to replace him that will be evil and more pulled together and more organized than Trump. And if you think there are people out there that are worse than Donald Trump, they're the people that have been sitting in a veil of darkness, secretly grooming and preparing the federal judges to ascend all the way up to the Supreme Court, to take away women's rights, to annihilate the Voting Rights Act, to line the pockets of pharmaceutical companies, to completely wreck science. The whole Chevron case is basically saying the court knows more about science than the scientists. And we know that the court knows nothing about science because they referred to chemical in all of their findings as nitrous oxide, which everybody knows is what you get when you go to the dentist.
Right, laughing gas. Well, they also put themselves in the place of physicians regarding women's health. They think they know more than a woman's doctor.
Clarence Thomas, the handmaid, Gorsuch, Edwards, Thomas, and I can't remember the beer drinker.
The beer drinker.
This is absolute corruption.
Absolutely.
On parade. Absolutely. And they are so brazen now. They see the polls, and this guy felt so emboldened that he could go on television and say a second American revolution. And if you bend over and take it, we won't shed blood.
Right.
And the reason he felt so emboldened to do that is because so many Americans aren't paying attention. Donald Trump will have an administration that is only can be mirrored with Hitler as far as the type of psychopathy that these people will have in their brains. These are cruel, demented people that, flick their wrists at facts, flick their wrists at science, think that they know everything about the best way to govern people, which is control, pushing down minorities, pushing down women. Roe v. Wade and this last bit will look like child's play. So America, I don't care who is at the top of the ticket. The only way to beat this is a robust turnout and giving the executive branch and the legislative branch exclusively to the Democrats. Whether you like the Democrats or not, a Democratic administration gives you the right to change it at a later date as long as it falls under the realm of democracy and not this authoritarian, fascist, Hitler bullshit that the Heritage Foundation, and they use their religion. And here's what's so crazy and here's what's so insidious about these people. They're so unhinged. They believe they're doing God's work.
Right. They're divinely just inspired.
And this is incredibly dangerous. This is the most dangerous aspect of American culture is the far right, crazy religious sect. And they have realized that they want to consolidate power and cram their religion down everybody's throat. And I will remind everybody that this is a country that does not have an established religion.
Because separation of church and state were the bedrock of the founders and the Constitution.
So America, we have to turn out. We have to vote blue no matter who. The scary stuff that these people are saying doesn't stick in the election cycle.
Right.
The interview from Trump's defense secretary was 2 years ago, where Trump asked if he could shoot protesters because he wanted to walk to a church to hold up a Bible upside down. Right. This is performative psychopathy on parade, and these people are wildly, wildly dangerous.
It's scary. We need to get out and vote blue, no matter who.
It's so